What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, I couldn't understand why y'all was invoking Governor Wes Moore down in the comments section of a video that talked about Byron Donalds. Now I know why. A lot of those comments were made by trolls that have been dispatched all over social media to try to bad talk Governor Wes Moore. Well, it didn't work over here. Now, I don't know if that commenter who left that dissertation about her African lineage only to get down to the point of trying to have a gotcha moment and was using Governor Wes Moore vetoing a reparations bill as her supposed gotcha moment. You know, the comment that had all of the fluff and ended with a gotcha and keep educating the people. Yeah, a lot of those comments invoking Wes Moore were trolls. Trolls dispatched to bad talk Governor Wes Moore because not only is Governor Newsom tearing up King Cankles, but so is Governor Wes Moore.
We know the president watches the program, and he likely saw the guest listing because he's tweeting about you, or truthing, I guess. He says the governor, Wes Moore of Maryland, has asked in a nasty and provocative tone that I walk the streets of Maryland with him. A few weeks ago, the deployment on the streets of Los Angeles, the governor of California tried to go to the courts, and he was unable to stop it. Is the reality here is you can't stop the president from sending troops to Baltimore if he wants to.
The year before I became the governor, in 2022, Baltimore was averaging almost a homicide a day. And I came in and I said, I refuse to be a governor who just offers thoughts and prayers to this situation. So we said, we're actually going to work in partnership with Mayor Scott, work in partnership with local elected officials, work in partnership with local law enforcement. We made the largest investments in local law enforcement in our state's history, over $50 million going to Baltimore City alone. And also, Maryland became one of the only states that actually helps to fund the U.S. attorney out of balance sheet, taking many of those gun crimes and actually turning them into federal charges. And the results have been incredibly encouraging. The homicide rate in Maryland is down over 20% since I have been the governor. And the last time the homicide rate was this low in Baltimore City, I was not born yet. And so the reason that I've asked the president to come and join us is because he seems to enjoy living in this blissful ignorance, these tropes and these 1980 scare tactics. Just last week, I was in Baltimore, and I was with a group called We Are Us, who's a violence intervention group. And they say, we're all we got. We're all we need. And that's exactly how people in this community feel. Because while the president is spending his time from the Oval Office making jabs and attacks at us, there are people actually on the ground doing the work who know what supports would actually work to continue to bring down crime, but it's falling on deaf ears of the president of the United
States. And then a whole bunch of them got down in the comments of my follow-up video talking about Governor Wes Moore, wanting to tell me that Governor Wes Moore parents were Jamaican. Correction. Governor Wes Moore's mother is Jamaican, and in my research, I found that his father is African American. So he's part Jamaican, part African American. He identifies as African American or Black American. But let me say this. I noticed that some of you are purposely missing my point when I made the suggestion to Black Americans to not just look at the skin color of a politician, to really make sure that they are doing their due diligence and research that politician. Because just looking at the skin color and they look like you need to recognize that not all skin folk are kinfolk. Some of these Black immigrants seeking office are not doing so to uplift the Black American community, foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, African Americans, however you identify as a Black American citizen in this country. They are not looking to uplift our communities. They are doing harm to us, our culture, our lineage here in this country. Whether they know they're doing it or not, they do so. They seek higher office, and then they use that office, they use their platforms, their notoriety to hurt and harm the black community. They are focused on assimilating into whiteness, and they side with white supremacy. And this is the difference between a Byron Donalds and a Wes Moore. Wes Moore sought higher office, and he's working to benefit the black community, to improve the lives of black people in this country. That is what Wes Moore is doing. What Byron Donalds is doing, Byron Donalds sought higher office, got higher office, and has assimilated into whiteness and white supremacy, and is using that position to hurt black people and the black community in this country. He don't agree with reparations. That's what he said. Go back and check the other video. But here's just a snippet of Governor Wes Moore tearing up King Cankles out there on social media. Now here's what's going on. Donald Trump has taken over D.C., sent the National Guard into D.C. after he did the same very thing out in the state of California. Now, Donald Trump has got his eyes set on Baltimore and has got his eyes set on Chicago, okay? And in response to Donald Trump talking about sending the National Guard into Baltimore, Governor Wes Moore put out an invitation, and this is what that invitation said. The invitation is out there on Twitter, on Governor Wes Moore's Twitter page. You can read the entire letter that he put out there, but here's the tweet with the invitation. POTUS, I heard Baltimore was on your mind. We wanted to send you a formal invitation to join at Mayor B.M. Scott at Baltimore SAO, our local electeds, law enforcement, and community for a public safety walk next month. Whatever date works best for you. We hope you'll come to see how we've built strong local partnerships and use data-backed solutions to deliver staggering drops in violent crime. A kind gesture from the governor of Maryland to the President of the United States, who says he wants to deploy the National Guard into one of the major cities in Governor Wes Moore's state. He invites him to come out to see for himself. Formal invitation. And this was Donald Trump, King Cankles' response. Governor Wes Moore of Maryland has asked in a rather nasty and provocative tone that I walk the streets of Maryland with him. I assume he's talking about out of control, crime-ridden Baltimore. As president, I would much prefer that he clean up his crime disaster before I go there for a walk. Wes Moore's record on crime is a very bad one, unless he fudges his figures on crime like many of the other blue states are doing. But if Wes Moore needs help, like Gavin Newsom did in LA, I will send the troops, which is being done in nearby DC, and quickly clean up the crime. After only 1 week, there is no crime and no murder in DC. When it is like that in Baltimore, I will proudly walk the streets with the failing because of crime governor of Maryland. P.S. Baltimore is ranked the 4th worst city in the nation in crime and murder. Stop talking and get to work, Wes Moore. I'll then see you in the streets. Also, I gave Wes Moore a lot of money to fix his demolished bridge. Pause. Donald Trump is lying. Whatever disease he's inflicted with must be attacking his brain in this moment, because it was President Joe Biden who gave federal dollars to Governor Wes Moore to fix the bridge. I will now have to rethink that decision. Rethink the decision. The money has been sent and spent. What is he talking about? Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America Great Again, President DJT. The witches and the psychics, they lied. They lied. He's still here, unfortunately. To that, one of Governor Westmore's responses was deploying the National Guard for municipal policing purposes is not sustainable, scalable, constitutional, or respectful. And he tagged that interview that he did with this woman, like right here. I saw several clips of this. I don't like this lady right here. Who is she? I don't like her. She, to me, she gives off, she's a Trump apologist with the questioning that she gave to Governor Westmore. But moving on. Governor Westmore continues with another tweet. Donald Trump can stay obsessed with me. That's fine, but I'll stay obsessed with working in partnership to continue our historic success of driving down crime in Baltimore. And there's more of his interview clip. Now, somewhere in the back and forth, I haven't found the tweet or the truth. I really didn't look that hard, but in gathering how Governor Westmore responded to it, I'm guessing King Cankles, who's also known as President Bone Spurs, because he dodged the draft more than once, citing bone spurs, is questioning Governor Westmore's service to the country. Here's what Governor Westmore had to say. Oh, will you look at that? I found it. Did Westmore, the governor of Maryland, lie about getting a Bronze Star? I know King Cankles didn't. It's been all over the internet for years how he dodged the draft more than once. I've heard at least 4 times because his daddy wrote a letter about him having bone spurs. Here's Governor Westmore's response to this. Did Donald Trump, the President of the United States, lie about an injury to dodge the Vietnam draft? Well, according to the political streets, yes. Yes, he did. Not once, but he lied 4 times, allegedly. Governor Moore went on to post what Grok had to say about him receiving the Bronze Star. And this is what Grok said. Yes, Maryland Governor Westmore received a Bronze Star in December of 2024 for his meritorious service in Afghanistan in 2005 to 2006. It was awarded retroactively after his former commander resubmitted the recommendation following a 2024 controversy over a premature claim on a 2006 application. Governor Moore follows up with, Trump is doing everything in his power to distract from the Epstein files. Really makes you wonder. He's trying to distract from the Epstein files. He's trying to distract from how terrorists is tearing this country up with high prices. He's trying to distract from those black spots on his hands. He's trying to distract us from the corruption that is happening all across his administration. He's trying to distract from his personal corruption that he's got going on and how he's using the office of the presidency to make money. He's trying to distract from a whole lot of things that are going wrong with his administration. One final tweet that I came across. Westmore puts out there, President Bone Spurs would do anything to get out of walking, even if that means spouting off more lies about the progress we're making on public safety in Maryland. Hey, Donald, we can get you a golf cart if that makes things easier. Just let my team know. Now listen, I thought that was a thoughtful gesture because we've all seen King Cankles, and we've all heard from some of the medical professionals out there on social media that that bruising on his hands, his overall look, and those cankles, the size of those cankles, they believe, these medical professionals, they believe that something is going on with his heart. And so, yeah, I believe that was a thoughtful gesture to offer a golf cart since he can't walk long distances. But he don't want y'all to know. He don't want, and he think y'all stupid and y'all can't recognize that there's something medically going on with him. With all of this said, it now makes more sense to me why all of these people are attempting to shit on Governor Wes Moore down in my comment section when I was talking about Byron Donalds. They invoked Wes Moore. Why? Because he's got a Jamaican mother. Like I said, Black Americans are not against immigrants who run for office. We're against immigrants who run for office and then try to undermine the progress specifically of Black Americans in this country. There's a difference between a Wes Moore and a Byron Donalds. I'm going to go get my nails done today. I'll see y'all later.
One thing we have now seen in just 2.5 years is that impatience delivers results. Together, in just our time, we have now cut the number of vacant homes in Baltimore by half. Together, we have broken the back of violent crime, and the last time the homicide rate was this low in Baltimore City, I was not born yet. Together, we can count on us screaming O's at Camden Yards for 30 more years, and I guarantee you, over the next 30 more years, we will have a better season than we're having this year, but the Baltimore Orioles will be in Baltimore for the next 30 years. It's Baltimore's time. And I want to say that loud and clear for anybody, especially in Washington, D.C., who might not hear me. If you are not willing to be part of the solution, keep our names out of your mouth. Donald Trump, if you are not willing to walk our communities, keep our name out of your mouth. If you are not willing to understand the pride and the beauty of this city and this community, keep our name out of your mouth. Because if you were willing to visit, if you were willing to spend time, if you were willing to actually walk our communities and walk our streets and not just talk about us from the Oval Office, you would see what we see. One of the greatest cities in the United States of America. So let's keep up the work. Let's make sure that we also hold the promise of leaving no one behind in this mission.